What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it is 11:08. No, I'm sorry, 11:09 a.m. It is Friday, August 9th. What is the deal, Anthony? Why are you 9 minutes late? And do you see this, folks? This is a McDonald's cup. I had to get my kids some McDonald's, and the universe conspired against me. I got onto the streets, was driving towards the McDonald's. There was all kinds of road work everywhere. I got caught up in traffic. Then I get to the McDonald's. And have you guys ever had this situation happen to you where you're in line at McDonald's, you're trying to get something, and like there's a car in front of you that has somebody in there that is like making all these like crazy demands, and they're like, no, I wanted it like this, I want this, I want that. And it's almost like they're deliberately trying to make the biggest fuss possible to it's like they're making the biggest fuss possible to try to get like some free food or something. I had that situation as well as I was waiting in line. Asterix Gaming says, watching this while my niece is cutting my hair. A bit risky. Yeah, that is quite risky. Ollie is in the house. Happy Friday, people. What is up? Christian Jensen is in the mix. Chris Cox. Again, apologies for the late start. I do have my cup of coffee here. This is the first cup of coffee I've had all day. I'm going to take a sip real quick. VR Spry Guy is in the building as well. Let me go ahead and pop up my normal intro trailer. This is kind of what we call Shit Show Fridays. Discombobulated. Let's throw a little bit of volume up on here. VR Game Rankings. Daily Vlog, episode 174. It is Friday. It is August 10th. I ordered my Oculus Go last night. Yeah, it was kind of late at night. Ordered the Oculus Go. It says like 2 days shipping. So there's a possibility I might get it Saturday, which would be super cool if I could play some of it Saturday, try it out Saturday. I'll be on the VR Roundtable live show, 9 a.m. VR Roundtable, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday will be a live show. And then immediately following, well, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes after that VR Roundtable live show on Sunday at 9 a.m. I'm not sure when that will be over. Probably, if I had to guess, I would say maybe like 10:40-ish or something. We will do what is called the after party, which is basically I will do my little live show right after that on this channel. Do you see this jacket that I'm wearing? I'm wearing this jacket. Like, why would I wear a jacket when it's going to be 100 degrees today? Well, I'm wearing this jacket because I was so late from all these like traffic issues. I didn't even get a chance to grab a t-shirt, iron a t-shirt. I go through a normal routine usually before I start this show. All of that had to be kicked to the curb. Ollie says, I'm interested in the Go, so give your take ASAP. Yeah, I'm going to have to take, I'm going to have to take a little bit of time with it, but obviously within a couple of hours of having the Go, I should have a little bit of, a little bit of a take. I mean, at least like the optics and those kinds of things. Let me put a random trailer on here for a second while we kind of just start this initial, like I said, discombobulated a little. Oh, where's the tie? Yeah, no tie today. Look, I got a white t-shirt on underneath here. I just threw this jacket on. See, a jacket is awesome. Like if you guys are ever a live streamer, a YouTuber, or anything like that, a jacket is a must-have accessory because you might not have you might not even have a clean t-shirt. You might not even have taken a shower or something. You could just throw a jacket on and you can kind of fake it. Need another sip of my coffee here. Factory Life says you will have to try a live event in Next VR when you get your Go. Yeah, I'm going to have to try all kinds of things when I get my Go. I know that VR Roundtable, like we have a special account for VR Roundtable, and I know we have a number of experiences that have been provided for us that we can sample out. And so I'll probably try to sample some of that stuff when I first get started there. Okay, so, as far as news, got to admit, again, this is kind of shit show Fridays, although I hope that's not going to be a trend. Usually Friday should be a pretty cool show. But I don't have much prepared, guys. Just do not have much prepared. So I'm just going to have to kind of like wing it a little bit. I did have a couple of minor things. Well, why don't we start it off with Res Infinite? Let's go ahead and check out this Res Infinite trailer. It is on sale, I believe, 15 bucks, 40% off. Have you guys tried Res? Yeah, so I saw the news. Like it's if you go to the Vive subreddit, they're mentioning that Res is 40% off. And so I thought, oh, that must be a really good deal. It must be like $8 or something. Let me go see how much Res Infinite is. And I clicked on the Steam thing and it's like 15 bucks. So it's 40% off, but it's not exactly cheap. Fluke Rogi says, I wasn't as blown away with Area X as some people, but the core game is cool in VR. It's funny because I'm looking over at chat and I saw Fluke mention something. I saw Blown Away and I saw Area X. And I thought, oh yeah, Fluke was blown away by Area X. And then I read the whole thing. I wasn't as blown away. I loved Area X. And honestly, for me, like Area X was like a religious experience in VR, like straight up. Like, how I talk about goosebumps, how you'll get the goosebumps sometimes. You're like playing some kind of VR experience and it just comes together so well. Like the music, like everything comes together. I talked about this with Megaton Rainfall yesterday. There's certain segments in Megaton Rainfall where it's almost like a music video. Like the music starts stirring up. You're following your dad, and you're going through freaking Saturn and stuff, and you get the goosebumps. Well, same thing with Res Infinite. When you get to Area X and when you're inside Area X, it's just like the combination of the music and the visuals. It is the ultimate psychedelic trip. I could only imagine if I was on some kind of like psychedelic, back in my college days, I may have ate a mushroom or something like that. I could only imagine what that would be like if you were in Area X. It would just be like, this is like what happens when you die. When you die, this is what happens. And that's kind of what Area X was like for me. I really love that. As far as the base game itself, it's very Panzer Dragoon. Somebody in chat actually says something about Panzer Dragoon. Main fan. He says, I returned Res. It's Panzer Dragoon. So main fan, my boy Justin, was not impressed. Not impressed in the least. Well, the thing about Res Infinite, the original Res game, it's basically a Dreamcast game. It's a Dreamcast game. When the hell was the Dreamcast around? That was like 2001? Or 2000, 1999, like that's when the Dreamcast was happening. And that's when they made the original Res. And then they had like a Res HD version, and they made some other versions of Res. But this is essentially a game that was made like in 2000. Okay, and Area X, though, is more of like a brand new thing that they added for VR, really, I think. Well, I mean, it's also for Res Infinite flat, But the game is relatively basic. All you're doing is you're locking onto enemies. Honestly, this should probably be like $7.99. That's why when I saw it was 40% off, I was like, okay, this should be like $8. And it's 15 bucks. That should be its normal price. It should be like $8 right now. But it is still cool. I like it. It's just we got so many great VR games right now and such a deluge of like recent releases of great VR games right now that I don't know that I would buy this for $15, but I really did enjoy it. I played it on PlayStation VR. I'm assuming the PCR version is pretty much the same. Main Fan is saying Area X was cool, but too short for the cash. When it, yeah, if you paid full price, absolutely. I did. In fact, honestly, full disclosure, I actually got a key for this. Enhanced Games hooked me up. I got a key for Res Infinite, so I didn't pay anything. So that might have colored my view as well. As far as Area X being too short, it's like a 25-minute experience maybe. I'm gonna grab a sip of this coffee here. I love coffee, by the way. This is my first cup of coffee of the day, and coffee is absolutely... I got hooked on coffee a while back. I started doing this keto diet. You know how there's like this keto diet that everybody got into? I started doing this keto diet, and one of the ways to get like a lot of fat, because you burn fat when you're on keto, is... You know the stuff that you use to make whipping cream, that heavy cream that you get in a carton at the grocery store? I was using that as my creamer for my coffee, because you have to have a tremendous amount of fat when you're doing like this keto diet. The keto diet worked great. Charles Van Nolan is saying, my wife is on the keto. She's doing real good on it. Steroid Maximus is saying, I do keto. Loved it. Turned my life around. Okay, so check this out, guys. I did this keto diet. Felt freaking wonderful. Lost a ton of weight. I felt great. But you know what? My cholesterol levels like freaking shot through the roof like you wouldn't believe. And my doctors were like, dude, back off of this keto diet. Your cholesterol levels have shot through the roof. Like, it was astronomical. And it's funny because a buddy of mine that was doing keto, he's like, no, if you do keto the right way, it'll actually lower your cholesterol. But it didn't work for me. So I'm not doing keto anymore because of like the cholesterol situation. VR Mania Q says, go vegan, Anthony. Nah, I cannot do it. I love meat. I am carnivorous. I gotta have meat, man. Charles Van Nolan says, yeah, you gotta balance out your fat types. Yeah, see, I was eating a lot of eggs. So maybe I wasn't doing keto quite right. But let's get off the keto. This isn't Keto Weekly, so let's go ahead and move on. Hussein X, I've been badly wanting a longer version of Area X. Well, yeah, you know that Tetris game? I don't know if I have the Tetris effect. I'm not sure if I have that trailer. Let me see. I'll double check and see if I have the Tetris effect trailer. Because, see, the thing is, when the Tetris effect game got announced, which is coming from Enhanced Games as far as I know, yeah, I'm not seeing, let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing Tetris Effect, so I guess I don't have that trailer. Sorry about that. But when the Tetris Effect game got announced, I was disappointed because I was like, oh man, that means we don't have the full Area X game that everybody wanted. So, hopefully they're still working on that. VR Spry Guy says, try almonds or walnuts for fat. Yeah, that would probably be a smarter thing. Yeah, you can do healthy fats instead of cream. Try putting some coconut oil. I used a lot of coconut oil when I was making my eggs and all that stuff. Get good fats like avocados and nuts. Yeah, maybe I need to like redo the keto. But I'm going to get off the keto for a minute. And I have one kind of weird story to talk about today as far as VR goes, and that is this Chloë Grace Moretz, I believe is her name, this actress, right? Chloë Grace Moretz. Okay, yeah, Diet Vlog Live. Yeah, this is the Diet Vlog Live. So Chloë Grace Moretz apparently is a big fan of virtual reality. And apparently Oculus hooked up with Chloë Grace Moretz, and they did this really weird dinner. Okay, so here's this dinner that they're having, right? And they all have Oculus Go headsets, and they're experiencing these different Oculus Go experiences, and then they're eating certain kinds of food. It's like they'll watch some particular Oculus Go experience, and then it's like, okay, now we got to eat this. And then they put the headset on, and okay, let's watch this other experience. Now let's eat this. So this is really quite bizarre. When I first saw this story, I thought oh, are they like eating food in VR? Like did they make an experience where they have like a bowl of soup, right? And so in VR, you have a bowl of soup and they have a real bowl there and they're actually eating food. But the problem is, the Rift headset would be right here. And so you're putting food up to your mouth. You probably bump your spoon into the headset. I wasn't quite sure what was going on here, but let's see here. I think I have a bit of information about this. Yeah, so this dinner took place July 31st on the rooftop of Ian Schrager's public hotel. The event was hosted by actress Chloë Grace Moretz. Let's see. Oh man, my browser's messing up. It won't get me to the rest of this. That sucks. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can back up and get back to where this story is. Okay, so here we are. Each diner was given an Oculus Go headset to view and experience before indulging in the coinciding dish and cocktail. Each place setting had a custom tasting menu that featured the ingredients of the dish and cocktail, as well as a silhouette of the cocktail. Yeah, it was a very extravagant event that took place here. They tried the Fox Sports VR app, and the Fox Sports VR course featured Meyer Lemon Gallie, creme fraiche, and caviar, paired with Oculade cocktail, which consisted of habanero-infused tequila, mezcal, dried prickly ash, and lime. Oh my God. The cocktail was served in a plastic pouch. How crazy is this? Face Your Fears, Stranger Things. So they did the Face Your Fears, Stranger Things deal on the go. They did that. And then they were served sliced fluke sashimi, pickled cherry pepper and sesame, paired with the Break Your Fears cocktail made with mezcal, sake, activated charcoal, and pistachio. These guys are like off the chain with this stuff. Okay, then additional cocktails included the Open Your Eyes cocktail, which consisted of Campari, grapefruit juice, club soda, and an orange twist. Yeah, so this is this dinner. It took place July 31st. I know this is kind of crazy, folks. First, we started with the keto diet. Now we're starting with like sliced sake and mezcal cocktails and all of this crazy stuff. But when I originally saw this, yeah, Kev Gret is saying, what is the point of this? Looks like rich people bragging. Pretty much, but you know what? Oculus actually like helped sponsor this deal. And I think part of what this was is, you know how when video gaming was like kind of a brand new thing. I remember back to like the late 80s, early 90s, when video gaming was still a very new thing, and video gaming was not like it was not like a badge of honor to be a video gamer. In fact, you kind of hid the fact that you were a video gamer back in those days. And so if there was any celebrity whatsoever that was a video gamer, like they would be featured in magazines and stuff. It was like a big deal. And so like this is a celebrity here, Chloë Grace Moretz, that is really into VR. And so it's like she's being featured as like this celebrity that is really into VR. What was the game that what was the movie that she was in? It was Nicolas Cage, Kick-Ass. Yeah, she was in the movie Kick-Ass. I really liked her in the movie Kick-Ass. She was like super young, incredibly young. Oh, Chris Cox says, I would rather eat my own puke than go to an event like this. Yeah, it's one of these kinds of things, man. It's like, have you guys ever been to a wedding and they serve you all this weird ass food and you're like, oh my God, I'm starving, and they're serving shrubs that they just picked from a tree in the backyard. It's like all these fancy shrubs. Yeah, Charles Van Nolan says, yeah, she was funny in Kick-Ass. She was really good. Yeah, she was the kid. She was the little girl in the movie Kick-Ass, and that's where I know her from. But anyway, I mean, this is a dumb story. Look, kind of a light news day. I just happened to see that, decided to grab that. Okay, another kind of a dumb story we have. I mean, not necessarily dumb, but we can get into this. Nintendo Switch, man. The Nintendo Switch is going to have VR, bro. So apparently this guy that is kind of like hacking into the Nintendo Switch found a test VR mode. And there's this little video, and I could grab the video, but it doesn't really show anything. What it does is it shows that when he activates it, it splits the screen into two little parts. And one of the things that people were talking about with this Nintendo Switch VR is that this could easily be a faked deal. Like, this might not even be real. But apparently, like, the guy that hacked into this and is kind of showing this off, like, he's never really lied about anything before. So they kind of believe that this is real. And so we were talking just the other day, we were talking, you know, when is Nintendo going to get into VR? And I remember back when we first found out about the Nintendo Switch, like way back in the days, some people postulated, a lot of people postulated actually, that you would be able to take this Nintendo Switch and you would be able to slide it into like a cardboard style headset and then strap this gigantic monstrosity onto your head, and you would be able to play actual VR games on a 720p screen that is divided into two. Okay, a 720p screen divided into two. And then also the other thing that people were talking about is, you know, those little the side controllers that slide off, that it would be kind of perfect for VR. It'd work kind of good for VR. You got the little side controllers, you got this giant thing on your head. Everybody said 720p, there's no way. You can't take a 720p screen, divide it into two, and then try to run VR. But supposedly Nintendo may have this test VR mode. This is probably something they were looking at, experimental, that kind of thing. Fluke Rogi says, surely they wouldn't do something as daft as a Labo VR kit. Yeah, surely they wouldn't do that. IPCSK is checking in. Hey guys, hi Anthony, what is up IPCSK? What's up Chris Cox? What's up Noel DBZ2? Kev Gret, Skeva007. Oh, he's hungry now. We've been talking about eggs and Skiva and all kinds of crazy shit. Phil Yarn is in the building. Terry Blanchard, perhaps McDonald's will use Oculus Go's for their ordering system. I am drinking some McDonald's coffee here. Their coffee's pretty decent. Every once in a while, I go to McDonald's and their coffee is like watery, and that sucks. My coffee has really lost a lot of its heat, which is not very good. But this is my first cup of coffee for the day. Coffee is a necessary thing. Main Fan says, my Switch was only used for Mario and Zelda, collecting dust now. Gary Haylock is in the building. What is up, Gary? How's it going? Always love to see any possible new people in chat. That is a cool thing. I'm not saying Gary's new, but some of these names I don't see quite often. Of course, we always see Kev Gret. We always see Phil Yarn. We always see Terry Blanchard checking in from London, England. And Charles Van Nolan was recently in Sacramento. We did not hook up and have coffee. That's unfortunate. Chris Cox in the building, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and switch up to some other dumb little story, since we're on the dumb little story kick. And let's talk about Immersive Winds VR. So have you guys heard about this? Apparently this is a Skyrim mod where you get this certain type of plug where you power your fan with this plug, and then it's like connected to your router and it's connected to the game. And so you place your fan in a very specific area, and then as you're walking through Skyrim and all the winds start to whip up, bam, your fan kicks on and it starts blasting you with air at the perfect time. And this is kind of a good idea. This really is a good idea. I really feel like fans and VR go together. Man, fans and VR is like butter and toast. They really do go together because, number one, first of all, a fan will keep you cool. It'll cool you down. The other thing about a fan, like wind blowing at you, for some reason, I believe it helps with motion sickness. Like literally, like it really does help with motion sickness. And then immersion. A fan can really help with immersion. I know if I'm playing like Drive Club VR, especially if I'm in a convertible, and you guys know I love driving in a convertible in VR, you might as well have a fan that is just blasting wind like you wouldn't believe, like right at your face, and it adds that immersion. It really does. But I mean, if we actually had fans that were individually kicked on at very specific times, that would be super cool. And I can almost imagine a scenario where, like, on your roof, like you install a fan system, like 4 different fans, and like fan number 1, fan number 2, and like the different fans turn on at different times. Maybe even the fans could have like a heating function where they could kick out heat and send heat to you as well. So like you're looking up at the sun, some heat is kicking out at you. So that is Immersive Winds VR. I looked into this Immersive Winds VR thing a little bit, and one of the problems with it, I mean, well, you got to like connect it to your you connect it to your router and all this stuff, so it's a little bit complicated. So I'm gonna bounce over. I'm gonna try to see where I can find where I got this story, Immersive Winds, see what extra information they had. Maybe it was on the Oculus subreddit. Oh yeah, okay. So it's here on the Oculus subreddit. It's the second most upvoted topic. Immersive Winds VR lets you feel wind in Skyrim VR using a TP-Link smart plug and a house fan. Yeah, so that's the story. And like if you click on it, I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and it tells you what you'll need. You're going to need a 2.4 gigahertz WLAN router. Almost everybody has this at home. You're going to need a TP-Link HS100 or an HS1110 smart plug, available for most socket outlet types, a fan with manual mechanical buttons, and then you need to download this mod for Skyrim VR. Honestly, it might not be that hard to set this thing up. So, one of you guys should probably try that out, and then maybe you can report back. Is it really as immersive as it appears? But yeah, so I think it's a pretty cool idea. Again, another kind of little goofy story here. Let's see. Did I have any other? Well, let me check chat first. Okay, Alexander Ritter says, I always play with a fan. Skiva007 says, that's awesome. Charles says, I love playing in death with the ceiling fan on. Be careful about swinging your arm way up there if you have a ceiling fan. Alexander Ritter, it prevents fogging. Yeah, especially PSVR. Like there's times with my PSVR, I have to slide it out, and then I have a fan going, and I'll actually get close to my fan like this, trying to get some of the air into my headset. It does prevent fogging. Would be great if you can use 2 or more of them, absolutely. IPCSK interactive fans are actually a cool idea. Jay Pace says, hackers can make your fan turn on when you don't realize it will blow up my man skirt. Chrono Trigger is checking in. What is up, Chrono? Kev Gret, I always put my Dyson Vernado on when I am in VR. Keeps me cool. Oh, Jay Pace says, eat beans and get Immersive Winds for free. I don't think we want those wins. Yeah, so, yeah, it's a pretty cool idea. It's not a bad idea. Crunchy says, injured hands plus damaged controllers with a ceiling fan. Charles Van Nolan saying he has vaulted ceilings. Damn, you're lucky, Charles. Vaulted ceilings. I really would love to have vaulted ceilings. The ceiling in here is 8 feet. So I can't play any of these tennis games, like selfie tennis. I can't play those games because if you're supposed to jump up and hit the ball, bam, I am jumping up and I am smacking the crap out of my ceiling. I really want vaulted ceilings. Like the next house I get, absolutely, my VR room, I want it to have like 14-foot tall ceilings because I want to be able to jump as high as I can, swing my arms like a crazy person, and not have to worry about an absolute thing. Crunchy is saying free Immersive Winds with Smell-O-Vision. Yeah, he's talking about eating the beans there. Terry Blanchard was playing Gorn with an 18-inch fan from eBay. Speaking of Gorn, I played Gorn just the other day. Let me just throw a Gorn trailer on. So, just the other day, I was feeling almost like I was a regular civilian. That I could play anything I wanted to play, which is completely wrong because I need to play stuff that you guys care about. Now I can't find the damn Gorn trailer. Isn't that my luck? Yeah. So anyway, I was playing Gorn the other day. And holy crap, Gorn is freaking just badass. I mean, it really is. The colors and everything. It's so Nintendo-like, the colors, and then you hit these characters and just knocking the stuff off their arms. It is just so awesome, but I won't get into Gorn. Chris Gould says, are we going to be standing in a bowl of water when we go through a stream? That's not a bad idea. I've actually thought about different VR experiences, like if you went to a VR arcade and they could have water that would like be up to your ankles or something. And so you would have that in the VR experience and then also in real life. So you're like walking on maybe like different kinds of textured surfaces, and then now you're walking in water. I wonder how much immersion would that add? Would it just be kind of a gimmick, or would it really have a ton of immersion? Main Fan says, have I fought the giant and the little dude? Not yet. But goddamn, Gorn is cool. Gorn is super cool. Okay, do I have any other dumb little stories? I don't have any other dumb little stories. So what I'll do is I'll put a Megaton Rainfall trailer on. And my question is, did anybody get this? Did anybody get Megaton Rainfall yesterday? Did anybody play Megaton Rainfall yesterday on their Vive or their Rift? And did you play it with a controller sitting down? Did you play it standing up? What are your thoughts on Megaton Rainfall? So if anybody played that, and then what I'll do is I'm going to bounce over to the Vive subreddit. I'm going to check out the newest stories that are going on here, see if there's anything new. And then I'll check back on you guys. Oh, wait, somebody's saying Main Fan did. Okay, he says, I did. Bad controls. My question, Main Fan, though, did you try playing it with an Xbox controller sitting down? Because the controls are not bad that way. Oh, Main Fan says, tried both. Didn't like motion controls. Gamepad wouldn't work. Okay, maybe you need to start it over. There's a way to select your gamepad. One of the things that sucks with Megaton Rainfall, like I'm not even going to lie about it, is a lot of the UI and the menus and stuff, a lot of that looks very generic. And it's a damn shame because the rest of the experience I think is really good, but a lot of the menus in UI look like crazy generic. Chris Cox says, I've been enjoying Electronauts a lot, more than I expected. Doesn't seem to be getting much attention. See, I was telling you guys with Electronauts, way the hell better than I ever thought it was, than I ever thought it would be. Like, I have not been paid by Servios, trust me. I was raving about Electronauts just because it's so damn fun. Chrono Trigger says, I bought it for Vive. So far, it's pretty good. The only problem with motion controllers I've found with the controllers is that my arm, yeah, your arms will get tired. That's the other thing I noticed is I was like going like this, going like that, moving my arms, trying to go down, trying to go up. And after, it seems like really cool to do something like that, but then 10 minutes later, you're like, my arms are fucking aching, And so you can't, honestly, straight up, my suggestion, everyone, forget the motion controls. Forget Megaton with motion controls. The motion controls are garbage, I think, personally. Like, the hands don't even match up. The hands don't really look right. Just play it with a controller. Jay Pace says, is Megaton Rainfall blurry? I didn't buy it because of the reviews in the Oculus store. Well, I don't know that I would say blurry, but it's not like crystal clear. It doesn't have a ton of clarity. It's not like Gorn, it's not like Red Matter, it's not got that crystal clear sharpness that some of these other games have. Let's see, what else are any? Terry Blanchard has not picked it up yet. I mean, no, you guys don't have to run out and buy Megaton Rainfall. Like, don't worry about it. Oh, Skiva007 says, I buy every game you recommend. You cost me a lot of money. Yeah, see, this is the point I'm trying to make. You guys don't have to buy every game that I kind of like. Like, don't worry about that. I have to talk about stuff every day, so I have to talk about these games. Fluke Rogi says, I'm in pancake mode at the moment. Monster Hunter World came out on PC. So you're playing a lot of pancake games? Like, get the hell out of Dodge, Fluke. We don't want you in the building. Just kidding. Crunchy says, I thought Megaton Rainfall was designed for a controller. Yeah, it really was. And they're adding, like, move controller support and stuff, but I really feel like it's a tacked on thing. It reminds me of a Drift. Do you guys remember when a Drift added, like, motion controller support, but it was really just tacked on? Like, I'm telling you, sit down in your chair and play it with a gamepad. Steven Sells says, I bought it after Paradise Decay's video. Haven't played it yet. So I'm assuming like Paradise is kind of like maybe raved about it a little bit. I don't know. I haven't checked out his latest video on that. Oh, Chris Cox says, I play pancake stuff with Vorp X, which a lot of people do. Like some people swear by Vorp X. Like there's certain experiences in Vorp X that it's almost as good. Chris Gould says, I spent all last night playing Ding Dong VR. What the heck is that? I don't know what Ding Dong VR is. I might not want to know what Ding Dong VR is. But let me go ahead and check these subreddits. The Unbreakable Gumball demo trailer. Here's a new trailer I might be able to grab. Yeah, this show sometimes, like when I don't have a lot of stuff lined up, this show turns into, let me find a cool trailer and throw it on, and we can talk about it. So let's talk about the Unbreakable Gumball. I've heard about this game. I've heard it mentioned here and there. I'm going to grab this trailer, throw it on, and we can check it out together. So I'm parsing this video right now. 4K video downloader, do not let me down. Still parsing video. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's see. So hopefully that'll parse. I'll see what else is going up on the Vive subreddit. So they're talking about A Fisherman's Tale, which we saw that trailer. Everybody's like a day late and $1 short. We've already seen that. Okay, I got the Unbreakable Gumball demo trailer. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's take a look at it live. And we can judge it together. I'll throw a little bit of sound and all that. So here we go. Developed by New Game Plus. Oh, it's kind of Spider-Man-ish. I like the visuals. Like cell shaded. Okay, pilot wings. A little bit of punching and throwing, slamming action. Looks kind of Mirror's Edge a little bit right there. Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge in VR. It's here. Don't just play the hero. Play the zero. A little bit of pilot wings action. Little Spider-Man. The name of this game is kind of crazy, though. The Unbreakable Gumball? Like, who came up with that name? Pre-alpha demo available now on Steam and itch.io. So I probably should try that demo. Has anybody tried this demo? Yeah, Crunchy says, very interesting art style. Yeah, I love this type of shit, especially in VR, you know, because you're seeing this tiny little window for this trailer. But when you have this colorful, cel-shaded world wrapped all the way around you, it's kind of cool. And like Mirror's Edge, I love Mirror's Edge. I mean, I'm not saying this is Mirror's Edge, but some of these visuals kind of remind me a little bit of Mirror's Edge. A cel-shaded Mirror's Edge, a little bit more cel-shaded. So that looks kind of cool. Charles Van Nolan says, looks fun, but they need to add more objectives, obstacle stuff. Have you tried it, Charles? Have you actually tried it? Main Fan says, yeah, kind of hard to control Gumball. So it looks like he's tried it. Chris Richardson, who has played a Magic Leap 1, ladies and gentlemen, he says it's an unlicensed superhero name. I see. Main Fan says, haven't tried the latest Gumball build. Yeah, the comic book Bam Wham stuff is cool. Fluke Rogi said, it did originally start out as someone trying to do a Spider-Man sim. Then they developed it into this. Oh, how interesting. Yeah, comic book style. Yeah, if there's a demo, I got to get back into the demos. I used to download like every little demo that ever came out and try all kinds of demos. I haven't really checked the demos lately. Okay, so that is on the HTC Vive subreddit. Let me see if there's any other things people are talking about. They're talking about a Steam VR beta update is, I guess, going to be pushed through today. There's always, like, if you guys are in Steam VR beta, it's always being updated. And sometimes the updates will break this game or that game. It can get a little bit sketchy. Oh, did you guys hear about this? Lenovo's VR headset. And so, if I'm going to talk about Lenovo's VR headset, let me throw on something different. I don't think I have a picture of Lenovo's VR headset, But I do have a picture of Acer VR, dude. This is the Acer VR headset, dude, with his neck, beard, and all. Don't you guys love this picture here? So in the news yesterday, did you know that you could have bought a Lenovo headset, a mixed reality headset, for 100 buccarinos, $100. However, there is a major catch. It was headset only, no controllers of any kind. And then it sold out hella quick. So even if you wanted to get it, I believe it sold out, but it was $100. Now, the cool thing about it, though, is if you were going to play something like, say, Megaton Rainfall, and you're just using an Xbox 360 controller or something hooked to your PC, and you had the headset for $100, you could be in there playing Megaton Rainfall with your Xbox 360 controller. So that's kind of cool. But if you had to buy, like if you wanted to buy 2 Windows Mixed Reality controllers to use with that Lenovo headset, Dell sells their controllers individually for $99. So you're ultimately paying $200. So you really weren't saving anything. So maybe better to just buy like this Acer package or the Hewlett Packard bundle or whatever. Crunchy says you could have bought the Dell controllers for $99. Yeah. So it would have made it $200. But at that point, you know, you're kind of doing too much. My teenage kids always say, "You're doing too much. You're doing too much." Chris Gould, for the price of a Magic Leap, you could buy 20 of these and start an arcade. Yeah, 23 of them actually. And then probably with the shipping and tax, 24 of them. Jim Hall says Acer is getting rid of their HMDs, getting ready for Star VR. Really? Is that like actually true, or are you making a joke there? I kind of wonder, when are we going to get to like the next version of Windows Mixed Reality? Like, don't we need, like, shouldn't there be a new version of Windows Mixed Reality? I'm going to put this little Evasion montage on. We talked about Evasion the other day. I made this little montage of the logo, a couple screenshots in the video. I'll just have they're a majority owner of Star VR. Jim Hall is reporting Acer is a majority owner. So yeah, Acer probably will be manufacturing this. I wonder, will the Star VR be consumer facing at all? We don't know. You know, will it be consumer facing? Star VR is a 210 FOV headset. Yes, Hammerhead Shark all the way. And we know that on August 14th at SIGGRAPH 2018, August 14th, we're going to find out some more information about Star VR. It'll be super interesting to see if, I think it's August 14th. It'll be super interesting to see if they go consumer facing with it, which they might, considering how much publicity the Pimax has gotten. Chris Cox says, I think Star VR is a commercial product and not for consumers. That's my gut instinct, but we don't know. Chris Gould says, Microsoft messed up with too many consumer choices. Well, see, Microsoft didn't want to build their own headset and put their name on their own headset, because then that implies that they're going to provide support. It implies that they're going to provide a steady stream of content. They didn't want to do all of that. So what they did was they said, hey, everybody, we're going to give you guys for absolute free. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but we're going to give you guys for free the HoloLens, basic HoloLens tracking technology. All we ask in return is that 7 or 8 different companies make VR headsets based on our reference design. And then technically we don't have a VR headset with our name on it, but we're providing kind of a VR solution. And then now we don't have to provide all this support and all that. I think that's why Microsoft did it, as far as not putting their name on it. Chris Cox says the mixed reality was a pretty poor launch. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting like Forza VR, you know, Halo V, like a legit Halo VR experience. Lucky's Tale. What was it? Super Lucky's Tale. I thought that would be like an exclusive for Microsoft Mixed Reality, but you know, they didn't go down that road. So let me go back to the news. I'm going to bounce over to the Oculus subreddit, see what's top stories over here. They're talking about the Nintendo Switch hack. They're talking about Immersive Winds VR. They're talking about the Fisherman's Tale. I could throw that trailer on again. It wasn't the greatest trailer, though. It just kind of does the same thing over and over again. Blah, 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 blah. They're talking a little bit about Santa Cruz will present a much better and convenient VR experience at launch than what what the Rift did. We hope that will be the case. Yeah, so not seeing too much news on Oculus. They do have the Unbreakable Gumball Dimbo trailer there as well. They do talk about Oculus and Chloë Grace Moretz serve up a 6-course VR meal. They talk about that. We did cover that. Let's go to PSVR subreddit. PSVR subreddit. They're talking about like rigs is, I guess, on sale or something. They hit the 70,000 escapists on PSVR subreddit. So PSVR subreddit hit 70,000 subscribers. Arizona Sunrise. And just some other miscellaneous stuff here. Giant Bomb just did a new VR rodeo. They talk about the Persistence, Pixel Ripped 1989, and more. I wonder, has Giant Bomb, like, I don't listen to Giant Bomb anymore. I wonder if they've changed their views a little bit about VR. Or like Jeff Gersman. I remember back in the days, Jeff Gersman like had this belief about PlayStation VR where he basically just said PSVR is broken. Like he had enough bad experiences with tracking on PlayStation VR that he basically came to the conclusion that it's just broken. It's just a bad broken technology, which I personally believe he came to the wrong conclusion, because if you set the camera up right, if you don't have reflections behind you and all that, I have no problems with PSVR at all. The only problem I have with PSVR is when I had that reflection behind me, but I didn't have any other problems beyond that. I'm on Upload VR right now. Let me change my trailer here from this Evasion one. Grabbing random trailers. That Assetto Corsa one is kind of a screwed up trailer. Blood Trail, I'll throw this on. I don't remember what this was. Oh no, actually let's throw this Blunt Force trailer on. This looks pretty good graphics. Monad Rock. Okay, let me check chat again real quick. Crunchy says Microsoft is probably waiting for releasing their own once they can also use it for Xbox. Honestly, Crunchy, I don't believe Microsoft is looking forward to VR on their Xbox at all, because it is a major freaking headache. I know they'll have to deal with it eventually, but I don't think they're looking forward to that. Charles Van Nolan says, yeah, Microsoft was just trying to get a piece of the pie just in case VR blew up right away without actually trying to build it up. Yeah, it was a great way. What Microsoft did on Windows in relationship to VR was absolutely brilliant from a standpoint of they barely dipped their toes in the water, but nothing really had their stamp of approval on it, so they avoid a lot of problems from that standpoint. And so I think Microsoft was kind of smart about what they did. They lucked out that VR didn't like blow up super huge. It would have put way more pressure on them, so they kind of got away with it. Ray Delatorre is checking in. What is up? Hi guys, how's it going? What's up, Ray? VR fan Snakebert. Inside Out works better than I expected, but the controller's still pale compared to touch. Yeah, that's what I've always heard about the Windows Mixed Reality, is that the Inside Out does work pretty damn good because they are using that HoloLens tech. The controllers, I heard, are kind of craptacular. Kev Gret says that original Giant Bomb video when they tried out PSVR was bad, but their setup was all wrong. Yeah, I remember those days when Giant Bomb, I used to listen to Giant Bomb religiously, like straight up one of my absolute favorite podcasts. And so I was kind of really disappointed, it hit me personally to have all these Giant Bomb guys just shitting all over PlayStation VR way back in that time. Because I had PSVR and I was like, no, it's working pretty good. I'm really enjoying PSVR. I'm playing a bunch of these early PSVR games. I'm liking it. And these guys are just shitting all over PSVR, and they're just saying it's horrible, it doesn't work, it's broken. I'm kind of curious if Gersman has ever backed off of that. Let's see. Pete Shirey is checking in. Hola, peeps. What is up, Pete? Crunchy says, are there controllers that are available right now compared to touch? Basically, he's saying, are there any controllers available right now that compare to touch? No, there isn't. And it's quite shocking to me, quite honestly, it's very shocking that HTC Vive has never improved their original controllers. That is not logical. Not logical. Chris Gold says, Giant Bomb, the home of the grumpy uncles. Yeah, they can be a bit grumpy, can't they? Chris Cox says, Kinect had a lot of potential. People are using it now for full body tracking. Yeah, that would be cool. You know, Microsoft, one of the things that we could hope for Microsoft is when they eventually bring VR to Xbox, maybe they could bring back Kinect. Not the old Kinect, but like a brand new version of Kinect that would be used for full body tracking. It would have inside out tracking for the headset itself, but it would also have this external Kinect that would be tracking you. Charles Van Nolan says, Kinect has too much lag for VR, hundreds of milliseconds. Okay, Charles, you just rained on our parade. I thought we were going to put, excuse me, I thought we were going to put our entire bodies into VR, and Charles just killed my dream. Charles said, yeah, they'd have to revamp it and optimize it to be much more responsive. But maybe 5G, Charles, maybe Kinect powered by 5G technology. VR fan Snakebert says, Kinect full body is cool, but software support is lacking. Charles is laughing. He's sorry for raining on my parade. Steroid Maximus says, I agree on Odyssey controls being not quite as good as touch, but that doesn't mean they aren't good, in my opinion. I think they're better than the Vive Wands, the dildos, ha ha ha. Well, it's hard not to be better than Vive Wands, like really. Like, I've always felt like at a bare minimum, HTC should just take their Vive Wands, put it in a shrinking machine, set it to 20% shrinkage or maybe 25% shrinkage, and just make a slightly smaller Vive Wand. It'd be a hell of a lot better than what we have right now, but they really need to revamp the entire thing. And there still is a bit of a shortage with the original HTC Vive. I mean, they're waiting for Knuckles. They're waiting for Knuckles. Who am I kidding? IPCSK says, have you guys heard about those mammoth thingies for touch controllers to make them feel like Knuckles? No, I haven't heard about that. And MainFan is talking about Crackdown VR 5G coming in 2019. But guess what, MainFan? It was just announced it's delayed to 2020. So sorry about that. Crackdown delayed to 2020. Just kidding. Charles Van Nolan says the Vive Wands are so silly. Well, Charles, I got a Vive in April of 2016 and they seemed advanced as hell. When I first got my Vive, those Vive Wands, they seemed expensive, heavy, and I was holding my Vive Wands. I'm like, this is an advanced piece of technology. They were actually cool in the very, very early days, but they kind of went downhill real quick, real quick. Okay, so what I want to do now is actually, I probably should throw a different trailer on. Trailer alert, trailer alert. Can't leave a trailer on for more than 5 minutes. That is a bad idea. Let's throw this let's throw this detached trailer on. It's kind of cool trailer. I have not tried detached on PSVR. Anybody try it? Looks kind of cool, actually. VR Mania Q says, waiting for real second gen wireless AR VR HMD. Come on. Yeah, we're all waiting for it. And you know what? I'll tell you what. In this month of August, remember guys, next week is SIGGRAPH 2018. There could be a major announcement that could come out at that. Then there's also the IFA thing, I believe, that's in Berlin late August, that Samsung might have a completely brand new, awesome next-gen headset. Samsung might bring the thunder, man, late August at the IFA, I believe, in Berlin. So I am very much looking forward to that. Terry Blanchard says, we will be able to submerge the whole body in VR one day with the same resolution and field of view as real life. Well, you know, talking about submersing your entire body, I can imagine a VR experience where you're actually in water. Like, imagine a completely waterproof VR headset that also is hooked up to an oxygen tank, and they literally drop you in the water. And then inside this pool of water, they have like jet streams and stuff. So it just kind of always keeps you in like a general area so you never get too far. and you can just kind of float around in the water. Imagine playing Subnautica like that. That would be freaking awesome. Of course, each play would cost you about $1,000 just to do it. But yeah, that would be super cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bounce over to Upload VR and see what are the latest stories. So Upload VR, it says Bethesda, Skyrim VR, Fallout 4 VR, and Doom VFR have all sold really well. Didn't we hear about that like a month ago? That's their big story. They talk about Nintendo Switch hack reveals possible VR mode if it's not fake. Samsung's Galaxy Note 9 is the most powerful Gear VR ready phone yet. So we did have that news, the Samsung phone news. Ian Hamilton of Upload VR has had hands-on impressions of Magic Leap 1, and I think he was pretty impressed by that. Actually, speaking of Magic Leap, let's talk about Magic Leap for just a brief minute here, because there's been more fallout about Magic Leap. So let me find my little Magic Leap montage. There's been a wee bit of Magic Leap info. I think I have it in a different folder. Hold on. Magic Leap stuff. Yeah, okay, here's my Magic Leap montage. That red one looks sick. Okay, so here's the thing about Magic Leap, guys. I mean, obviously, we had the launch thing. Everything came out on Wednesday. Major disappointment. We found out about the field of view, $2,300, blah, blah, blah. It was all kind of bad. Oh, MameFan he tried the HoloLens today and says it was not bad. But what I wanted to say about Magic Leap 1, and we have somebody in the building, Chris Richardson, that actually got his hands on a Magic Leap 1 headset, the lucky devil. But one of the things I was going to say is a lot of people are getting their hands on Magic Leap 1, and it seems like the hate has gone too far, is what I'm hearing about Magic Leap 1. That, yeah, it's got its limitations, but there's some really good shit that is going on with Magic Leap 1. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. People are getting these things. We're getting some more impressions. We're getting some more takes on it. This one guy, actually, let me bounce over to the Magic Leap subreddit, because this one guy had a good breakdown about the pluses and minuses of Magic Leap. And here we go. Okay, let me see if I can find this. The Magic Leap subreddit, man, they're having all kinds of stories on there all the time on the Magic Leap subreddit. But basically, Uploads VR Ian Hamilton, like I said, he tried Magic Leap 1 for the first time, and a quote from that is, "This is a really powerful demonstration of the potential of this type of optic system." I can actually grab this little YouTube video. We can throw this on the screen here. It's pretty short. It's only like 56 seconds or something. Hold on, I gotta play a YouTube ad before they'll let me get this video. Okay, let me skip that ad. This is oh no, it's like an 11-minute video. But you know what? I'll grab it and just throw it on in the background for the hell of it. So that's gonna have to parse for a second. But yeah, so going back to this Magic Leap stuff, it sounds like while it is a disappointment and it basically is a HoloLens, and maybe Addie Robertson, I think Addie Robertson's Verge article, like, she really kind of made it seem like this was a dud. But people are getting their hands on that, and they're basically saying, look, it's not that horrible. It's not that horrible. So that's kind of good news. So I'm about to throw this trailer where Ian Hamilton from Upload VR did get to try Magic Leap 1. There was somebody... Oh, did you guys also see that the Tested guys did a post on Reddit saying, is there anybody in the San Francisco area that can let us try a Magic Leap 1? I can't believe Magic Leap didn't put the Tested guys on the short list of coming to Plantation, Florida. Okay, so here's Ian Hamilton. Let's just hear what he has to say real quick. This is an Upload VR dude.
I got the opportunity to come here and check it out this morning, thanks to Sivan Iram. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, he works for Loomis, and he bought one for himself and offered to let me come over and try for about half an hour to an hour. I actually put it on my head, but I have yet to turn it on. So I wanted to see how the fitting worked before I actually tried to stream here. but I haven't actually turned it on yet. One thing is I think my IPD is larger than this headset is meant for. So this, I believe...
Yeah, that is a problem. This whole IPD thing is a freaking problem. It really is. Like, the Magic Leap, like, it doesn't have, like, an adjustment knob that, you know... So they've got 2 IPDs. That's part of the reason, too. Like, we talk about Magic Leap Large and Magic Leap Regular. So they have the regular Magic Leap, and then they have the Magic Leap Mark Cuban edition. And it's not only the size of your head, it's your IPD. So for me personally, I got a large-ass IPD. My IPD is like 71 or 72. So I'm going to have to get the Mark Cuban version, you know, that has a wider IPD, because it's not going to work for me otherwise. He's talking about turning it on. But yeah. Somebody on the Oculus subreddit, though, they did have a really good breakdown of the pluses and minuses. I wanted to try to see if I could find that real quick. But since this was last night and like so many other little things have been added onto here now that I can't find it. But this one guy had a really good breakdown. Never mind. It's going to take me too long to find it. But yeah, so, you know, I'm still kind of excited about Magic Leap 1, although it's kind of now gone into the category of HoloLens for me. It's like, now that it's out, you know, like all the mystery and intrigue and all the hype of Magic Leap 1, like all of that has faded away. Now it is available, and it is not this unknown, incredible thing that could possibly happen. So it's like, now it's just a regular thing. And so now the rubber meets the road, and now it's just straight up like, how good is it? Let's see what he's saying right now.
All right. So I've been told that there's a way to actually stream from the device.
This is super compelling trailer right here. So yeah, not very good with that. I'll just leave that playing in the background. Let's see. I'm going to go to Road to VR real quick, see if they got any stories. So Road to VR has the 5 best free games on Oculus Rift. They talk about the Star VR, the Magic Leap, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not much going on at Road to VR. Let's see what their 5 best free games are. They've got... They got them going backwards. So they got Echo VR is their #1 free game for Oculus. Number 2 is Robo Recall, which is free if you activate touch. Number 3 is Rec Room. Number 4 is Archangel Hellfire. You know, I forget the fact that that is free. And number 5 is Brass Tactics Arena, which I think is like the demo part of Brass Tactics. So yeah, I can't really argue with any of those. Those are all really good free games. I mean, you got Lucky's Tale, Dead and Buried. There's some other ones too. Like, these are like their Poker VR honorable mentions is what they have there. But yeah, nothing really popping off over here. So we don't really have any major breaking news stories today as far as I can tell. Let me hop back to chat. Paradise Decay checked in. What is up, Paradise? VR fan Snakebert says, more expensive than a gaming PC plus a Rift. I think he's talking about Magic Leap 1. Yeah, it's crazy expensive. VR fan Snakebert says, horror movie fans are legendary for showing up at the theater for their genre. How are they not going crazy for horror survival VR? A lot of horror fans really do like horror VR, but some people can't deal with it. It's almost a little bit too harsh. Chris Gould says, Magic Leap, I have gone from 0 interest to -10. Oh, shit. So, like, he's gone from, like, no interest whatsoever to even less no interest, if it's even possible. But, Chris, it's a real product. Dr. Freeman is saying vaporware. No, it's a real product. Look at it. It's on that dude's head. It's a real thing. Crunchy says, Magic Hype. VR fan Snakebert, my Leap interest is about the same as my Lambo interest. Cool, but the stuff of my dreams. Alexander Ritter says, I love horror VR. Yeah, horror, I mean, there's a lot of great horror VR games. Some people find out, though, that VR is almost a little too immersive. Look, you can kind of see the screens in there. Let's see what he's saying right on this part.
Let's see. All right. Getting used to this, because I've got the Oh, interesting. We don't recognize your space. So the minute I sat up, it's asking me to scan the space.
That video's not very, very good here. All right, guys. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I'm kind of burning up in here. I threw on this jacket because I didn't get time to iron a t-shirt. Got caught in traffic on my way to McDonald's for my kids, and it just all went wrong. But anyway, we've been going for a little bit over an hour here, so I'm going to go ahead and call it because not much stuff is going on at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on my outro trailer. If I can find it. My outro trailer. Okay. Oh, could somebody tell me? Ah, man, my trailer. Can somebody tell me when does the Inside or F Reality? You know the F Reality podcast? They renamed it to F Reality. When does that usually end? Does anybody in chat know when that usually ends Pacific time? Because that's when I want to start my show tomorrow. And I need to like update that. I need to let people know. So, you know, Oasis VR. So the VR Insider podcast, they've renamed the podcast to F Reality. And I'm not sure what time that podcast typically ends. But what I was thinking was tomorrow's episode will start like 5 minutes after their podcast normally ends. That way people don't have to like choose sides. Okay, Paradise Decay is saying 6 p.m. to 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Start 6 p.m. UK time, lasts about an hour. Okay, so 7:30 UK time would be what for us? Would that be like 11:30? 11:30 a.m. I mean, for me, Pacific time. So about, start yours an hour later than normal. That should work. Okay, we'll start at noon. So Saturday's show is going to be at noon, so that anybody that's in this F Reality podcast, if they want to jump over to our show afterwards, that way it'll be a possibility. We'll just go ahead and start at noon. And then Sunday, we are doing something called the After Party, which we're going to start 5 minutes after the VR Roundtable live podcast. We'll just hook up there and we'll do that. So that'll go ahead and do it, guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific time. Take it easy. See you then. Later.